Good morning. Thanks for joining us for Rise and Shine Yoga today. I'm Heather, and I'm so happy to be able to offer you a practice you can do in the morning to wake you up, to feel refreshed and energized, and feel a sense of ease for the rest of the day. So if you'd like to join me, we're going to begin in a seated position. And you can sit in a chair, you can sit cross-legged, an easy pose. And it's not always easy, I know that. Then we'll take a few moments to get settled within ourselves, especially if we've already been running around a little bit today. It can take a little bit of time to settle. So as you transition, as you return to yourself, we're going to witness whatever we're experiencing right here, right now. Releasing any expectation for this experience. So you might find that you have pain in your body, or you might find that you're not feeling the best. Your energy might be low. Your mood might be low. Whatever we find, we are here, right now, to just notice it, to allow for it, to honor it as a signal from the body to come back to ourselves and just let ourselves be, creating more space within us and around us by softening, releasing, breathing. You might start to feel yourself unwind by just sitting here for these few moments we've been here so far. You might already feel your shoulders releasing. You might feel tension start to dissipate in other areas. And that's the unconscious tension that can be with us throughout the day, sometimes coming from a different mindset, right? Or a different core belief. We're just going to try to free ourselves here. A wonderful way to do that, to start our practice, is just to take a slower, longer, deeper breath in. And breathe it all out with a release it out through your mouth. And continue that for the next few breaths. Breathing in slowly, a long and deep breath into your body, and breathing out with a ha. One more like that. See how long you can make your exhalation. And feel how that breath promotes this feeling of settling and ease in the body. So we can be here now, not trying to run away from anything from our experience or resist any sensation. Pausing at the beginning of your practice also helps you to get to know yourself, know your body, know your emotions, emotional well-being, and mental well-being as well. So that's a huge part of yoga, is heightening awareness, understanding ourselves at all levels of the body. Okay, we are going to move the body now. We'll do more of our physical practice, but I just want to bring you back to that. And we are going to deepen our connection to self, improve our awareness and focus as we keep our mind coming back to what we are experiencing in the here and now. So let's just do some half rolls in the neck, side to side. And try to sit up as nice and tall as you can. And keep moving, flowing, and we're going to try to, the intention for this first part of our class, anyways, we'll be moving in more of like a soft, graceful, fluid manner. Almost imagining like you are, dancing in your body. I know that's maybe a little bit of a stretch for some of us, but try to let go of any rigid movements. Tap into this more natural movement that feels right and good. You might find yourself moving differently than I am and tapping into a different sensation, a different even position. Feel free to go for that. Okay, so we're gonna move the head and turn to look over the side, holding that for a moment. And then come back to center and move the other way. And again, just feel your entire body in this position and move however it feels good. It feels like I'm almost doing a little bit of a cat-cow movement with this. So on the inhale, as you turn to look over the side, you're opening the chest a bit more. And on the exhale, coming back to center, pulling the belly in. And inhale the other side. So try to feel a little bit more flowingness. 2 more breaths like that. Okay, and then we'll come back to center. See if we can just rotate the head all the way around in a gentle rotation. And again, do this gracefully. Loosen your body up. Move other places too. Allow them to move if it feels like they want to. Dropping your chin down. This time as we inhale, we'll lift the chin up and open the chest, and exhale, round the back, belly in, chin down. Continue flowing here for the next 2 breaths. All right, we're going to come out of that position. At the end of the next exhalation, we're going to come back to center. We're going to take our legs out of this position. We're going to work on stretching our legs a little bit more. You can take your hands behind you. First, just rolling through the ankles. This is helpful to get the circulation flowing, of course, to loosen, warm up the joints and hydrate the joints, which is really good, especially as we get into a drier season like winter time. Do lots of movement in the body. Okay, you can flex and point. And on your next breath in, slowly reach your arms up. And on your exhale, we're going to come over one side. If we need to bend that knee, but we're not going to stay, flow all the way back up. And on the exhale, come over the other side. And just continue to flow, moving on your own time. And not watching my body so much for how you should come into the pose. I will guide you, but you will be moving differently and looking differently. Everybody does. We're never exactly the same in each pose. So I want you to feel into yourself, feel into your body and what feels good today to loosen yourself up. And we'll do this 2 more times. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's just try coming forward slightly even. This is a tricky pose, especially when we're tight in your hips and our legs. You can also bend your knees in this one. Pausing here for a breath. And on your next inhale, reach up through the arms, come up to center and reach your arms behind you. Come onto your fingertips and open your chest. See how it feels to be in this position. So good to open up like this. And then we'll slowly release and come back to center. We are going to bring our legs out of that position and flip our feet to the side, coming over onto hands and knees. And here we'll continue with our fluid movements, loosening the body up. We're going to roll through the hips a few times in one direction. And you could even close your eyes to really feel this spiral through your hips in a smaller rotation. And then gradually spiral like you were drawing one of those beautiful spirals on a piece of paper. And gradually getting wider and wider. Until you move in the fullest rotation that feels appropriate. And pause, and you can slow it down as you create that wider circle. And then we'll come back to center, and we are going to spiral in the opposite direction, starting with smaller circles. If you need any padding for underneath your knees, you can fold a blanket or towel and place it right underneath your knees. Okay, so we're gradually widening out. Okay, and we'll do this a few more times. Slow it down as you get wider and wider. And then we'll come back to center. As you pause here in the table, just notice any feelings, any sensations in your back, lower back, hips. The exhale will come fully into the cat pose, lifting your belly, arching your spine, stretching through your back. Inhaling to slowly look forward. And we'll continue this for 3 more breaths. So you might start with a smaller movement or a smaller opening, and then gradually, again, just like we were doing in spiraling, start to move a little deeper into your spinal curves, if you can. Feel free to close your eyes to feel yourself more. And then we'll come out of this position. We're going to walk the hands in. And we'll come up to a kneeling position. Again, if you find that you need some cushioning for underneath your knees, go ahead and get something. We'll be here for a little bit more on the knees. So we're going to do the gate pose. If you'd like to start with your right leg straight out to the side, your foot, your heel is in line with your hip. And you're feeling this in your hips, perhaps already, or in your inner thigh here. Again, we all carry our attention differently, so we all feel things a little differently. Let's open up through the upper chest, shoulders roll back, lift the left arm straight up. Okay, and feel that lovely opening through the side of your body. Maybe you can feel this even right down, starting at the hip area. As you reach and extend up with your arm. Come into a nice gentle curve to start. We'll stay in a gentle curve for a few breaths. And I want you to be guided from your body, from yourself. Breathing here when it feels appropriate to maybe go just a slight, and it could be just a little micro shift deeper into your pose. Okay, but I want that to come from your sensing, from your inner sensing when it's time to do that. Holding for 2 more breaths. Okay. And on your next inhale, come back to center. Exhale, we are going to actually come right down with that arm. We are going to end this. If you need a little support, it really depends on how long your arm is and how you feel in your side body. So if you're feeling crunched, you can always, I have longer arms, so I don't need anything, but I'm staying on my fingertips here just to keep open in that side of your body so you're not crunching it here. And then you can bring that other arm straight up. Good, holding it. If you want to come a little more deep into the side plank, this is stage 2. Okay, lifting the leg here, I should say. And you can reach that arm straight over your head. Pull gently out with your heel, away from your body, pull up and over with your arm. 1 more breath here. And then slowly release. And as you release, reach with that right arm towards the left side of your mat. Slowly pull it back to center, lifting both arms straight up in the air. Okay, before we switch sides, we're just gonna come into a lunge position. So we're gonna lunge over this right leg. So I'm gonna bend my knee. I'm gonna come forward with the hands and realign, readjust through that back leg and come into the lunge on the right side. So right foot forward and you're coming into your hips, starting to open through the psoas and the thighs, especially that back thigh. Again, cushioning if you need. If your knee's starting to get a little sensitive from being on it. Okay, planting the foot down. Planting your front foot down. 2 more breaths here. And then from here, we're going to come back and we're going to slide our upper body up over top of the left leg. We're going to reach out, straighten out through the right leg. Okay, lift the toes. We're going to come into Hanumanasana. We're going to slowly come into it. Now, if you have blocks and you like to use them, you can place a block underneath your hands, such as this. Okay. We're going to stay in this pose just for a few more breaths. I know it's a difficult one when our hamstrings are tight, so come into it as best as you can. The longer you hold the pose, the more your body will release into it. So if this is your pose, if you find that this really helps or it's what you need to do, hold it on your own. We're not going to hold it for as long today in this class, but you might come into it, hold for 3 to 5 minutes, set a timer. Okay, and then we're going to come out of it. So we'll just bend that front knee again. We will transition back to gate position here just for a moment. Breathing in, reaching your arms straight up. And breathing out, coming forward. Good, with that right leg out to the side now, bringing it back behind you and holding it there for a few breaths. So it's raised in line with the floor, parallel to the floor. The front of your thigh is facing downwards. You might do a little rotation in your hip to face that thigh down. Holding for 1 more breath, strengthening here. And slowly release, good. we'll come into child's pose. So I'm just going to stay where am on the mat. I'm going to widen knees apart a little bit, come down. And then you can slide your hands underneath again. Okay, come up to sitting hero's pose if you can for a moment. Come back up onto the knees. We're going to take the left leg out to the side in the gate. Just check that your heel ankle is in line with the hip. And straighten yourself forward here with both hips. Lift up through your chest. Reach your right arm straight up. Opening here. Feel the extension as you lift and open. And when you're ready, come into it in stages. Start with that first place. Breathe here. You're in a pause. You're opening your body. Seeing if there's areas you're tensing up without realizing it. Soften them. And starting to go a little bit deeper into your pose when you're ready on your own time. Okay. Good. One more breath. Next time you inhale, come back to center. Next time you exhale, we're going to lower that arm down and come into the side plank. Okay. So if you felt like you wanted to put something underneath, you have something to put underneath to help you feel more centered here. You can try that. Okay. Lift your left arm straight up. And if you want, you can lift that leg up. And you can begin to also open that arm straight over your head, strengthening here. I'll pause here for 3 more breaths. When you're ready to come out of this, slowly lower it down, reach as far as you can towards that right side with your arm, reach both arms up. And exhale, release down. Okay, we're gonna come into the lunge on the other side. So we'll start to bend the left knee. We'll transition to place the right foot straight back. And if we need our props, we can grab them for lunge. Okay, we're coming into this one. We're moving a little bit into it, back and forth, loosen up. Breathing. So this is always a really good way to loosen up your hips. And if your knee is far enough back, this right leg, you can feel that stretch in your thigh as well. It's really good because we tend to tense up our body in these areas that we feel. And it's to do with all that fight or flight response, what we were talking about earlier, how we unconsciously tense our body throughout the day, causing kind of sometimes some chronic issues. And when we're in a bit of a fight or flight, which means a lot of us feel overwhelmed, stressed from day to day, feel like we're, just trying to keep up, or we feel like we need to run, that creates that response in our body. So we're going to slowly come out of our lunge and we'll come up. And because of that, these muscles in our body, mainly in this area, the hips, the hamstrings, they tighten. They tighten when we're feeling that way. And it could be an unconscious thing, right? And it's okay. There's so many of us that are experiencing that. But understanding it is part of the process of unraveling it. Okay. And we'll just come forward a little bit, or wherever you're at, I want you to feel what feels good in this pose. Holding it, breathing through it. Trying to keep your spine as long, as straight as you can. You can have a little bit of a curve, but come forward from your hips. Pull that left hip back just a little bit. And again, you can, in every pose, you can move in stages, right? What feels good now? Where do you want to go from here to find that next edge, the next place of sensation? All right, we're going to come out of that and slide your foot back. All right, coming up, we're going to transition again towards the gate pose, coming up with both arms. And as you exhale, we'll release. We're going to come forward more like a tabletop, just with that leg out to the side. Reach it straight back. I'm bumping into the wall a little bit, so if you need to adjust, you can. And lift that leg. And turn the thigh so that it's facing down. The leg is parallel to the floor. Strengthening your leg, also strengthening those core muscles, making sure the lower back isn't tilting inward. Pausing here for one more breath. Okay, we're going to release. We're going to come into child's pose for a moment. Reach your arms forward, head down. Got 2 more breaths here. And we will slowly come back to center. Inhaling on the way up. And we're going to come into downward facing dog. So if you want to come to your mat here, lift up through your hips, and you can walk your legs out a little bit. Bending one knee, sending the other heel down, alternate there a few times, flowing here. Breathing, lifting up. Okay, from downward dog, we're going to come forward in a plank. So you might even scoot your feet back a little bit. And you can do one of two things. You can bring your knees down first, then lower down, or you can lower down straight from plank. It's called chaturanga. And we come right onto the belly. Reach your legs back. You're in a gentle cobra, hands underneath the shoulders, lifting up off the floor, making sure you're engaging right through the front of your pelvis. You're on that part of your body and you're lifting. And you can lift and release with your breath. So if you want to come up on your inhale and down on your exhale, elbows stay in at your sides. Do this for 2 more breaths. Good. This time as you exhale, come down. Prepare to come off the belly. So we're going to plant the hands. So we're going to push down to rise up. Push down through the arms. Come back. We're going to come back to downward facing dog. Okay. And from here, let's lift the left leg straight up. And we're going to bring that knee in towards the chest. See if you can try that. And if you can, this is one transition. If it doesn't work for you, you can always lower down on your knees, then bring your left foot forward. But we're going to try to bring this left foot forward. It sometimes helps to lift it up and then step it forward, okay? As you come forward with your left foot, we're going to slowly rise up, coming into the warrior 2. Reaching through your arms. Pausing here for a few breaths. Okay, next time you exhale, lower your back arm or right arm down, reach up. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, come over into side angle. Lift your back arm straight up, open through your chest. So you're just lifting and opening and coming down, or coming over, I should say. And plant through your back foot. Maybe bend through your front knee a little bit more. And to come out of this one, we're going to reach towards that left foot and slowly come to center between your legs, reaching both arms straight up. And releasing over, coming straight down. Between your legs, wide-legged forward bend. We're going to hang out here for a few breaths. We can cross the arms if we want to feel more of a pulling sensation downward. And then from here, we are going to walk towards the right leg. We're going to come up into warrior two on the other side. Get your balance there. It's okay if you're a little shaky. And we're doing warrior two. Strengthening, finding our sense of self here in this pose and building confidence. So we feel that inner warrior spirit in this pose. See if you can tap into that. Okay. One more breath. Releasing down with the left arm, lifting up with the right. You can look at one spot, you can look up. One more breath here. As you exhale, come over. Bend into your knee, lift your opposite arm slowly up and over. Side angle. Good, and releasing down and back. And as you release down and back, we're going to actually step back with this front foot back into warrior, or sorry, downward dog. Lift straight up with your hips. Okay, we're going to transition. Just lift the right leg straight up. Knee in towards your chest. Step in between your hands and step the back foot as well forward in between your hands, coming into a forward bend. Stay here for a few breaths. And then inhale, look forward, bend your knees, plant your feet. We're going to keep our knees bent as we start to transition up. So hands to your thighs. Coming into a chair position, reach your arms forward. One more breath here. And then inhale straight up over your head. And I'm just going to turn so you can see. And exhale, come over into a side bend. Inhale back to center. And exhale, other side. Okay, inhale back to center. Exhale, palms down in front. And resting at your heart. Good, we're staying in mountain just for a few more breaths. Hubbling, and in this pause, we're allowing our body will integrate all the things that we've done. And we're just feeling ourselves here. Aligning through to the best of our ability, doing a slight shift, perhaps of your hips feeling yourself and feeling where our strength, especially in this cord, can come from, that inner strength. The legs are activated. You might hug, imagine you're hugging a ball between your legs, just a slight little pressure there, right? And from that, maybe it'll soften areas that usually have to hold your body up in a certain way because there's other areas that aren't doing their job, so to speak. That could be a lot in the buttocks, the lower back, tensing as you stand. So we just want to find balance, and we want to stand through the bones of our legs. That's really important. Go right to the center of your body through your legs and feel that sense of rooting down right from the core down through your feet, and bring your awareness up again through the soles of your feet, right up through the very core of your legs, towards your knees, towards your hips, and then follow the central channel, the Sushumna, from the base, the pelvic floor, and follow it through the inside of your body. See if you can bring a bit more awareness to the very core of yourself, right through the center, rising up, all the way up through to the crown of the head. Okay, pausing there for a moment. And it goes above our connection, our energy actually keeps going above the head. And then just feeling your whole entire body, plus perhaps with that enhanced awareness, your energy body, which is now we've got this bigger energy field surrounding ourselves. And we're bathing in this beautiful, subtle light. Feeling that for yourself, perhaps. If you're good at visualizing, you might even notice there's colors coming to you, right? As you enhance your senses this way through yoga. Okay, we're going to slowly come down again. We're going to do a bit of a wind down now. We're going to start with the butterfly pose. So if you want to sit on a little something, just to be able to lift up and out of your hips, to sit up nice and tall. You can position your legs, your feet wherever you need to. Okay, you can hold on to your ankles, pull your elbows back, come over, try to come over from your hips, from your hip crease. Breathing here. And you decide how far you come into it, again in stages. So you go into stage number 1, whatever that is for your body. It's not a set position for all, it's individual. And then you go, well, what's my stage 2 today? When your body opens up and you feel that. By the end of the pose, perhaps you're in that stage 3. Maybe it's just slightly pushing edge of what's your normal position, like where you typically kind of stop. Perhaps you've gotten into a bit of a routine and maybe you can go a little bit deeper. You might surprise yourself. Okay. Well, expect the unexpected in our practice. That's what we're going for. Okay, we'll slowly come back up to center. Okay, I'm just going to turn to the side. You can too. You might already be on your mat that way, but now we're going to do the seated twist. So I'm going to start with my left leg out in front, right leg in. Again, I'm just going to add a little support underneath the seat so that we can lift up. Sit bones rooting down, but there's a little bit, it's easier to lift up and keep your pelvis neutral so that you can sit up nice and tall. Let's press down through the right foot, press down through the left heel, lift your toes, and we're going to start to twist towards the right. Okay. Breathing in and out here. And you can remind yourself with words throughout your practice. You can pick different affirmations that help you to sink and settle into your pose a little bit deeper. For example, if you're struggling with something like, I am here now, to keep your mind centered, or I'm in the perfect place for me right now. Inhale, or just even inhale, breathing in, I open. Breathing out, I release. One more breath here in our twist. Again, you might be moving in stages. And then you slowly release, unwind, come back to the center. Okay, just drop that knee that was raised up and reach both arms straight up. Okay, we're going to come over the left leg. You can bend your knee. You can reach as far as you can. You might even, if you have your belt handy, you might use your belt or not. You can just bring your hands wherever they go. Come over that leg for a few breaths. Center your foot here. So your foot might want to come into a misaligned position. But if you look at your foot, how would your foot look if you were standing on the floor? Okay. And reposition it. What happens in this pose? Your foot goes into a different position, perhaps, my big toe naturally comes in more than the other side. The other side, point out, it bypasses the tightest areas of your body and in your leg. So you go, nope, I'm not going to let you do that. You might feel that in yourself. Okay. And just notice how that pose is wonderful for bringing a sense of calm. All forward bends do, but particularly I find that one really does. For me, it might not for you. You never know. All right, let's come into our staff for a moment. Legs forward, toes up. This can be a tricky pose too. Just a root down through the seat. Press down through that and sit up nice and tall, but it tells you what's going on in your body. So you want to notice that, much like mountain pose. This is our seated mountain. Good. And then we'll bring the left knee in and we're going to do our twist towards the left side. First, just root down through both sit bones. You can, I didn't show you this on the other side, but you can clasp your fingers, push back, push a little bit into your leg, pull your elbows back, helping you to sit up nice and tall. You're lifted through that core, root to crown, and then you're twisting around. Pausing here. And breathing here. I'll stay here for about 3-4 more breaths. Remember, if you feel that there's a bit of an unwind starting to happen, you can test the next edge, go just a spiral just a little bit deeper, right? And use your arm, bring the elbow to the front of the knee. Okay, and then we'll slowly release, come back to center. As we come back to center, let that leg drop out to the side. Like a half butterfly, you can always support that leg too. And sit up nice and tall. Root sinking down, rising up so that we can come over and keep reaching through your body as much as you can. Or if you can't, and that doesn't feel comfortable for yourself, you can always just stay in more of a half seated forward bend. You can use the belt, keep length in your spine. Or again, you can just curl and reach. And if your hands are on your foot, even your belt works too, to kind of pull the belt to bring that foot into more of an even position from side to side. You can do that. And perhaps you feel that a little differently right through your leg into your hip even. I'll stay for one more breath. Notice how gravity might pull you down just a little bit more. And then slowly release. If you need to walk your hands up your leg, come back to center. Stretch both legs straight out. Staff pose. Hands push down. And the next one we'll do before we lie down. We're going to bend the knees, reach the arms, and come right over. Okay, so seated forward bend. Paschimottanasana. And just pausing here for a few breaths. And then, yeah, and then this one, I like to start with the knees bent, like I said, and then stage 2 could be starting to straighten the legs just a little bit. And then we'll slowly come back up. You can push through your legs or the floor, rising back up, pausing here for a moment. And then we're going to make our way down onto the floor, to the back. Having anything you need to be comfortable here and to end in Shavasana. So if you'd like to start with just your back on the floor, getting adjusted here. We're going to come into the bridge pose to help align our back a little bit more. So plant your feet down. Your feet are fairly close in towards you. And you're coming up. So you're pushing down with the feet, activating the legs in order to rise up. The rise up doesn't come from clenching the buttocks or the hips. It just, we want this to come from the legs. So you can hug the inner thighs a little bit towards each other, like you're squeezing on a ball. Come up. You can adjust through your neck so your chin comes down. It's a beautiful pose because it helps to create that space in your neck, pushing the shoulders down away from the ears. Pausing here for one more breath. And then on your exhalation, slowly come down, vertebra by vertebra, right through your back. Release your back into the floor. Feel your body melt here. Okay. Maybe feeling more contact with all parts of your back in this position. Come up onto your toes. Okay, and then bring your knees in towards your chest. Be in this pose The beautiful one. We can wiggle a little bit from side to side, creating a little more space in the lower back. So broadening, widening through the lower back area. And you might be a little tight there. You can notice that. I'm just going to separate the knees and reach for the feet, bring them together. So hands around the ankles. And for the next one, moving into happy baby. So you can try that however you'd like. You can just hold on to the ankles or legs. You can grip, put your hands on the outer sides of your feet, or you can grip the big toes with the first two fingers. Okay, then from here, bringing the feet back together, lowering down, slide your hands to your knees, bring your knees away from you, but not feet not all the way down, and then exhale, bring your knees back in towards your chest. Inhale, knees away. This time dropping your left foot down, keeping your right knee in. We're going to position the ankle, the right ankle in the front of the left thigh, knee out to the side, pushing a little bit on that knee. And when you're ready, you could loop your hands behind your left leg, bring your legs in. Feeling that stretch in the outer side of your hip, maybe through your leg. Everyone feels it a little differently, so there's not one way to feel this. Just feeling how you feel, holding the pose, breathing, allowing yourself to be here now without needing to do anything else. You could lift your left leg too, pushing up through your heel. Okay, and then slowly lowering down. Bring that right knee back in towards your chest for a moment. And then release. Okay, plant the right foot down, bringing the left knee in. And we're going to do the same position on the other side. Bring your ankle to your thigh. Sometimes we refer to this as a reclined pigeon pose. For the longest time, I used to call this just the sciatic stretch because it's so good for helping open up that area that tends to pinch on that sciatic nerve. So breathe in and out here. If you'd like, you can lift that right leg up. And then we're going to bend the right knee again, bring the right foot down, left knee in towards your chest. And release. And we're going to come into our Shavasana. So however you'd like to come into it today. Sometimes we alter our positioning. It could just be flat on the floor, like stretched out, arms release. Sometimes, well, for the first little bit, you could do the reclined butterfly. You could do even legs up the wall, legs on a chair. Whatever helps. And the goal here is just to relax your body as much as you can. So let go of all effort. Providing a very powerful reset for all systems of your body so that they can come into balance and harmony with each other. It's the ultimate way to pause and restore your energy. So just let yourself be, feel your body settle and sink down. Not trying to hold anywhere. See how much you can settle, release any tension, release your jaw, teeth apart. Are you getting to know where you hold tension in your body? We all do. And, you know, for the first few moments, focus on those places to release. Ask them to soften. Give them permission to let go. Setting yourself free. We're in the moment, the present, the now. Let go of the past. Release all fears, doubts, uncertainties about the future. And tap into the power of right now. My breath breathes me now. I'm being breathed by my breath. I am peaceful. And if you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, the nice thing about doing it at home is you have that opportunity to stay and do, you know, anything that comes to you. If you want to stay longer, feel free. Okay. Or if you feel like doing any other stretch before you come out of this position. Try to move out of your Shavasana slowly when you're ready. Don't want to rush. Don't forget to smile. Thanks so much for joining me today. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.